Hello, good evening, welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny, and for the next 2 hours I'm going to be sat here live painting my miniatures, providing you guys with some company, hopefully some company and motivation, hopefully some inspiration. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? As always, I'm a little bit late. I'm really sorry, I just can't seem to do it. Like, be fashionably late. I was watching a little video, I was going down the rabbit hole just earlier on today. Etiquette, questions on etiquette, and apparently you should always be, or traditionally you should always be, about 10 to 15 minutes late to a party. So I'm early. That's all I'm saying. I'm really poorly. I've just been trying to get the energy to get online today. I didn't want to just bail out because that's not what I do. That's not what we do. The show's still got to go on. I've just got a cold. That's all it is. It's just a bit of man flu. I'll be fine. I've just been sat on the sofa for about 4 days now, just feeling really sorry for myself. I am starting to feel a little bit better. I've got myself a lovely hot cup of tea, so here's to the weekend. Cheers, everybody. That's just boiled, so it's really, really hot. So throughout the evening, I'm probably going to be like a bit coffee, a bit sneezy, a bit. My energy's probably going to. This is as high as it's going to go, and it's going to dip. And I'm just really sorry about that. There it is already. I'm just sorry. Yeah. Anyway, look, we've got some people joining us in the live chat today. I've noticed we got a new member of the team. We've got Kindred Lupus. Evening all. First time here. A workmate recommended it. Welcome to the community, mate. Welcome to Easy 8. I hope you have a great time. I hope you find something worth coming around for future episodes. I hope you find a little bit of inspiration, motivation. That's what it's all about. It's just finding some quality time dedicated each week, a couple of hours to the hobby, because we've all got lives, right? We've all got stuff going on. We've all got work. We've all got bits and pieces going on, in our day to day, and it means that it's difficult to find the time to do the stuff you enjoy, which is hanging out with me, painting some stuff. So, if you're new here and you like what we do, just remember that we're not a tutorial, it's just a social club, a place for you to come along, make friends, meet new people. So if you like what we do, please do consider subscribing to the show, because it's the subscriptions that make the community grow. I make this for you, and I want it to get bigger and better. I'm not going to bang on that drum all night, because I do it all the time, and you know how it goes. So subscribe. But if you wouldn't mind, because every time you interact with the algorithm, every single time, whether it be you subscribe, leave a comment, when it's not a live video anymore and you can leave comments in the past, or if you give it a thumbs up, it always affects the algorithm. All hail the algorithm. So bow down to that and all that stuff. So give it a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. I'll give you a second. I'm going to go and thumbs it up, so you come out of full screen mode, which I know you're on, because you would do, wouldn't you? Don't want any distractions. You go and thumbs that video up, and I'm going to see if I can make this tea cooler to the palate. Just about palatable. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Share word of Easy 8. Get it out there. Get it known by people, because the community only grows if you talk about it. And clearly, people are. So welcome to the show, mate. Nice to have you on board. Who else have we got hanging around? We've got Shiv from Table of Horrors. Hi, Shiv. Thanks for the game the other day. More on that a little bit later on. Adrian's with us again. Hi, Adrian. Nice to see you again, pal. We've got Kez. More on Kez and the kindness that Kez has given recently a little bit later on in the show. Looking forward to that. Who else have we got? Is that it for now? That's all in the live chat. Oh, and Jeff, my dad's here, and Crumbs as well. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming along. So, if you're working on a project this evening, come and tell me all about it. I want to know all about it. You can put pictures up on Facebook. You can talk about it over on Discord as well if you want to, at the Easy 8 after party, where I'll be on for a short while. Later on today, I'm just going to be a bit tired, I reckon. But I'll come on over and say hello. So if you want to hang out there, put pictures of your stuff up on there as well. Please do, because I'm genuinely inspired and motivated by the stuff that you guys do. And there's so much stuff going on. I'm actually finding it difficult to go and see it and comment on it all. I do my best to comment and interact with you all the time. So please don't hog it. If you're doing something, tell us all about it. Put pictures up. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm going to go straight over to the workbench now, because otherwise I'll just blabber on forever and ever. Here we go. To the workbench. So here it is, the Carnifex that I've been working on. I call it a Screamer Killer because that's what it's called, but let's not make any beans about it. It is a Carnifex, right? Do you know what? Let's get a poll going here right now. Carnifex or a Screamer Killer? Are you one of those people that doesn't mind calling it a Carnifex, or are you like, no, this is a Screamer Killer, it's not a Carnifex? I'm in the Carnifex Club. Carnifex Club. Yeah, there you go. I've got all of the stuff done on his back. on his tail, on his abdomen, on his legs, on his chest, his his hoo-hoo parts, under his chin, and his last week. It took me all of last week to get it done, but I got that head done. It was really difficult, Carnifex. Yeah, it's a bug, says Crumbs. Yeah, you're right, it is a bug. So the last little bit that I've got to do of all of this fun work, and what a crazy ride it's been, is the arms. I started doing all the dark grey on it. I blocked it all in with black. I wasn't under no impression that it had to be black. They're like, because you can see here, there's bits of black on each of these plates where they overlap. So on this top one here, there's no black on there. So these probably won't have any black on them. In fact, I've left no black on them. I've still got to do this one here. I got tired at the end of last week, so I just did it. A paperweight? How dare you? How dare you? Old school here, Screamer Killer. It is a Screamer Killer, but it's still a Carnifex, right? Like, I don't mind calling it both, but it's not just a Screamer Killer. Screamer Killers are Carnifexes. Yeah? Yeah. Does it scream and kill? I think it does. Yeah. Be right back. Oh man, you do your own thing. If you got disappear, you got disappear. If you come on back, you don't even have to tell me. You just do your thing. It's just a club. It's for you, man. I'll always know it as a Carnifex since 2nd edition. Yeah, that's where I cover. That's what they tried to do, isn't it? They've tried to model it on the old. Really, it's very nostalgic to look at, but it is a bit poo now, isn't it? By modern standards, they've tried to bring that into the modern world of the modern level of sculpting and moulding, whatever, but also just make it look terrifying rather than just a little metal thing that goes. But yeah, cool. Better vid didn't load. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. You take your time, pal. You do you. Jeff said, yes, it does. It screams a bolt of plasma. It does, yeah. It baths up bioplasma or really acidy bomb. And when it does that, it's supposed to make a screaming sound. As you can see, I've still got to do some claws on it. I've still got to do all the muscly bits. I was playing around a few weeks ago. Do you remember the different types of pinks? I think what I'm going to do is make all the muscly pink bits this colour. And what I might do, just to kind of add a little bit of flair to it, is some of these little tendons. I really like those because it kind of gives the impression that they're kind of like whip, snap, pull, shut things. Like going to have like a really quick and disastrous kapow. But I'm going to do all the muscle bits this pink. All the bits like between the joints here and under here in the nether regions. I'm going to keep this bit under here because I wanted to make it look like a weak spot. That looks kind of cool, right? But all these bits will go this colour. And then all the tendons, I'll probably do them that colour just to make it look a little bit different, extra. And then really it's claws, teeth and mouth bits. He's also got these little pipey bits here, which I can only assume the sculptor's decided to use that to reference that it baths up, bioplasma. I've also taken the trouble to go through and paint all of the little venti bits, the exposed muscle bits, whatever you want to call them, the windows into another realm, all over him. They should all be done. They're painted in like an ivory white colour, so that I can paint them this pinky colour as well, because literally all that is just crimson right over the top of crimson wash. And what I'm also going to do is you could just see, just inside, like underneath the shoulders, there's like a little, I don't know, it just looks like it could be more muscle, right? Just to break it up a little bit, just to add that third colour in there. We've got the greys, I know it's grey, black, etc. We've got grey, yellow, and pink, and I wanted the pinks to be in there a little bit as well. These will probably go some sort of greeny colour, just to be like extra kind of accent. And then it's got to go on a base. I'm probably only going to get through the arms today, but that's, that's for another day, isn't it? But we're getting close. I'm getting close to this project. It's taken me a long time. I knew it was going to, doing all of this effect on it. While it looks really cool, it takes a long time. If it was a smaller creature, I wouldn't have done it so... Crumb says, does anyone remember the Tyrannus special character, Old One Eye? Yes, I do. The old character Carnifex. I liked him, but I was a really big fan, because that was in 3rd edition. He came up with one other. I still am a really big fan of the Red Terror, which in later editions got called a Mother Ravna. And if you look at all the artwork for the Red Terror, when 3rd edition came out, it was supposed to be like a huge creature, almost like a Trigon. And when I had this model, I was contemplating doing it as a Red Terror. I still might do one day. Who knows? That'd be cool. Do you know what? That's a future project. Anyway, here we go. Just got to get painting. Come and tell me about what it is that you are working on this evening. It is better than old metal flat face, to be fair, says Shiv. Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. Like, I really liked the old one, but I really liked it when it was around. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a nostalgic thing to look back at, but we've come a long way as modelers, as gamers, all the above. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully my light levels are good for you. Hopefully my focus levels are good for you. And if they are not, you must say, because I think my monitor is just a bit cheap crap. Right. So clearly I need to get some Eshin Grey. That is my dark grey, and it's just for this last little bit here. I'm going to have a little look at the bits on the backs of the claws here as well, but that's what we're doing today. Just going to give that a bit of a shake. I've also got some really good news. And I was going to like just hang on to the second half of the really good news, but you know, good news wants to come out, doesn't it? I got the job! Yeah! I went for a job interview. Just after I got made redundant, I applied for a position in my final weeks working with my old employer, who I sorely miss. I loved working at that place. But I applied for the position of a chief instructor, so still doing the industry that I've always worked in, working with kids in the outdoors, teaching outdoor pursuits, activities and sports and things. But I was always a team leader, so I was essentially a chief instructor in the past, I suppose. I shared the role between a couple of other people. But yeah, I loved it. I like to think that I was pretty good at least. And I found another place that's actually closer to where I live. I went for an interview. I had an interview that was supposed to last only half an hour. It lasted 2 hours. The people there were really nice. They were saying nice things about me, and they were also saying like the right things. I think they were enjoying my conversation. I was enjoying their conversation. It was really good. They invited me back in for a second interview, which is daunting, but nice. It's promising, isn't it? Went in for a bit of a site tour. They kept it a bit briefer this time, and they offered me the job on the spot. And then the manager gave me a hug, which I thought was really nice. They're a really nice bunch of people. I started in January, so I've got a little bit of time to put the old place behind me and kind of grieve, I suppose, about that. Thanks, Shiv, for the congratulations there. Yeah, I've got the job, so I've got some time now between now and January, obviously, to just enjoy a bit of time. Naturally, I fall sick straight away. I'm one of those people that I think I work so much, never hard, but I just working all the time around, that when I do stop, just my body's defences just go no, and then I get poorly. So hopefully very, very soon I'll be able to enjoy my time off. I have been enjoying it. It's been sat at home with Dax and being kept in treats. Yep, absolutely. And they've been enjoying me being in the house the entire time, which has been great. So yeah, things are on the up, which is good. Congrats, dude. Not easy in this job market. No, you're absolutely right. It's not easy at all. So onwards and upwards. That is a little bit too watery, I think. Quite overwatered this. That's all my energy gone now, so yeah, enjoy the quiet. Unless I've missed it, is anybody else working on something? Kindred Lupus is working on painting a McFarlane Artist Proof Dark Angel. I've converted to Blood Angel. I've got exactly the same one, just on a shelf up there. More on that later on in the second half of the show. That's very exciting. Converted it into a Blood Angel. Did you accidentally buy a Dark Angel? Make it a Blood Angel? Or did you think this would be a project, or was it a gift or something? I really like Dark Angel. Mine was a gift. And I've never painted the Dark Angel before, so I am going to get around to it very, very soon. It's just a little bit on the watery side, isn't it? Okay. The problem with all these different paints is, while they're all grey, they do actually have all their own sort of characteristics. Like each one will be a little less watery, more viscous, whatever, than the other. Slightly more higher pigmentation, and it just makes them all a little bit difficult to work out exactly how much they need to be diluted. So just bit by bit I'll add a bit more paint to it. Mark III breaches, still the Mark III breaches continues. Lots of congratulations coming in there. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate that. Like, I would have got work. Yeah, I've got a little redundancy payout which would have kept me tidy for a little while. I would have got something. But it's just nice to know that you've got the work that you... Probably using it's just a little bit too small at the moment. I found that this small one's really good at just getting in and around these little features here. A little bit of like almost like eyeliner, where that whiter paint has just kind of crept up onto the edge, the inside edge of the A line there. Well, I don't mind that so much. That is quite the others. Kind of dial it back too far the other way. Okay, cool. Well. One of the things I realised with doing this grey technique doesn't really matter if that well. So many other layers of grey, different shades of grey to go over the top. As long as I get a half decent go at it. Hold it. Oh, I've had shaky hands all day. Just at the right moment. Bit sniffly today, so sorry. Working on Mr. Corsi's Wehrmacht. Oh yeah, he outsourced his projects to you last week, didn't he? Very kind of you. Sure, he'll be very happy with it. Okay. Only got one venti window thing. That is what I shall call them now. Venti window things. Working on my Chaos Lord chapter master of the Fat Lip chapter and an Undivided Legion. Nice. Fat lip. Is that because they get fat lips or because... Billy. Yeah, but just out of practice, I'm going to try and get rid of that. Oops. Nice, nice, nice. Almost done. Bigger brush. And I think I must have knocked my camera or something recently because I'm having to keep on checking if I'm in view the whole time. That's all right. No, I'm in shot. Oh, in one. That was good. What are the reasons that black ink? It's really difficult. Actually, no, it's probably because it's really difficult to see. And if it's really difficult to see, probably hidden in a lot of shadow, black, hidden in amongst all the grey. Oh no, it's there. It really bothered me. If I miss a little bit, painted in white or yellow, then chances are it'll really. Okay, I'm going to come back to that brush in a minute. Going to use standard 0 brush. Bit of water in the bristles. Never go in with a straight up dry brush. Need a bit of moisture for that paint to sit on. Just better at done the hottest job up there, so I'm going to have to go back in there in a second and repair. It'd be quite an easy fix. It's just a little bit I think that was slightly Really sorry about the constant sniffles. I'll sort that out in just a minute. Excellent, okay. Now, a very quick check on all the backs of those claws. I just want to check all the backs of these claws where we've got all these little bits on here. There should be a little bit of black between the layers. Only a fraction. There's a really small spaces to work with. I want to make sure they've mostly got grey. That is fabulous. Getting a little bit tired by the end of last week. I thought it quite late to just kind of get a bit of work on them. Make sure that they were all close to complete as possible. I just ran out of steam on that last arm. They're all okay, which means now I can do the next layer of grey on all parts. So each of the 4 arms and on the backs of the claws as well. That'll be all grey done, really. Apart from whatever it is that's under his foot, because he stood on something. Spiky bits. I could do those little bits down grey just down here. The spiky thing that's just sticking out the floor, and it love that. Comments going in. Crumbs, do your Chaos Boys trash their own house party because nobody came? Shocking, there is a sum of 41 warbands under the banner of the Fat Lip chapter. They have a theme that unites them almost like an anthem. I can see where we're going here. Would that be because they're still waiting or because they're in too deep? Oh dear. Hey man, hey Sam, how you doing pal? Hope you're doing well. It's been a little while since I've seen you. There was one guy who felt a Nurgle who does this look infected. I'll let you sing your songs. Tissue in my pocket here for blowing my nose. I'm going to put the microphone on mute. You don't need to see this. That's better. The joys of having a cold, huh? Right. It's a good cup of tea, that, actually. Miss you, bro. I miss you too, man. Do you want to hear some good news, Sam? I got the job. I'm now a chief instructor at another place. Yeah, go for me. I found out a couple of days ago. Right. Light greys. Blowing so hard his ears lit up. Yeah, these are it's a gaming headset. You're listening to me through this mic. I just wanted to kind of monitor my own voice. This is just a better quality microphone. But one of the things about like gamer headsets is that you want the lights to be on the front because like people play things on Twitch and things like that. But these lights are on the back, and that has been noticed in some reviews. But they're just a good quality headphone when they don't break. What am I doing? Okay, yes, cool. The next of my 3 greys, I use Eshin, then I go to Dawnstone, and then I go to Administratum. Gonna go for a bit of Dawnstone. Give it a bit of a hand waz. Thought there was a cat in here with me then. They shouldn't be in here. Just seeing things. Hallucinations from the cold that I've got. Cool. Oops. Smidgen of water. Just literally a smidge. Sorry so much about the flow improve of this one. So happy for you. Sending congratulations from me and Mia. Thank you very much, guys. I love that. Thanks. Mia there with you right now. Hi, Mia. Cool, so have a look at this really weird bloke. If you were to see one in real life, you'd be like, oh, that's weird. So naturally what I've done on the back here is I've done all these lines to kind of make it look grainy, granular, split, whatever it might be, just to kind of give it something, I suppose. But you can't really do that because it requires, well, this sort of shape really, but also it needs like overlapping things to kind of get the truest effect on it, doesn't it? Hey, she says, hey, hey! But you can't do that over here, so I've got to do something different. And that's one of the things I find really puzzling on these bits. So, let's just get a wet brush. The way that I do this bit is by highlighting to the edges, right? It kind of makes it look fun. So I think what I've got to do here is go with the pointy bits and then work down. Open to your own interpretations, of course. Answers on a postcard. Always is. I can ruin everything. I just kind of do that and just see where it goes. Yeah? Yeah. Seemed like a good idea, isn't it? Too late now, pal. You're locked in. Oh, if there were only real things like this that I could actually take some inspiration from. And before you say crabs, they're not the same. They're not the same. Do a little bit of highlight around the outside, right? That was even such a good idea. Be brave, man. Do the thing. The tricky thing, I want to try and create this effect. But knowing where to do it is the tricky bit. So if I add just a bit more water. I don't know whether to create the lines going that way, or a combination of the two is going to get a bit messy. Let's do when in doubt. Well, I've certainly done better. Staff's joined us. Hi, Staff. Apologies for my tardiness. Hey, man, you always know that that I'm always late, so don't worry. It's my own show. I run my own schedule, man. I work to my own hours, and I'm always late to my own gig. Don't worry about it. But looking at it, you are well late, though, aren't you? Gotta say, I was using some real cheap, thick acrylics. Got my Vallejo game color set, and I'm appreciating them so much more. Yeah, absolutely. If you are using just normal like canvas paints, like cheap ones you can buy from a craft store, good for what they are, but not good for this. I mean, they can be, but Vallejo, along with other brands of their kind, they're formulated for this. Those cheaper craft store paints will do the job. You just got to thin them right down because they're really thick. I'm using like proper modelling paints here from Citadel. I've got Vallejo Game, I've got AK, Mick Ammo, like all high range stuff. And while some of them are perfect consistency coming out the bottle, so sometimes you've got to like add all these things like, you know, flow improver, like retarding medium and all the sorts of things. So don't think that they're not without their use, but especially if you're just kind of getting into the hobby, make it easy. I use Vallejo, that's probably my most common one. I use them for the airbrush and by normal brush. My favourite brand's probably AK, incredible paint. Okay, I've got an idea. And do this style. This technique's going to take me absolutely bloody ages. Try and do this sort of way around. Center to the eye bits, blinky eye bits. I don't know. They just, all the lines kind of work their way. I love getting stuck into a project, no matter what it really is. There does come a time when I do get a little bit bored of doing thing, and I'm starting to get there with this guy. I'm glad it's progressing. And we're moving on. Been a long time doing all. I'm looking forward. But in the second half, I'm going to tell you about some exciting projects I've got lined up. Really exciting. And unfortunately, it's not World War II armour, although I've got a lot of that on the side as well. So hard to hold. So spiky. Okay, I'm trying to get more opaqueness capacity towards the outside. As it kind of comes in towards these blinky eye windows, start to see that line effect. When I come through with a highlight colour, be able to exacerbate it. Trying to make it look. Okay. Keeping the paint nice and moist the entire time. Is he on the run already? Sorry, I had a letter from the ex-solicitor. Got annoyed, so went to the gym. Almost died. Feeling much calmer now. Is that because you almost died? Please don't die. Certainly not on my show anyway. Lambs tonight. You said the other day you vehemently swore that you weren't going to drink anymore on the show. You said you weren't. You said that painting and drinking's a bad mix. And if you're not painting, what are you doing on my show? Get off. You come and join in. You do whatever you want, mate. Bad choice. That's good. I like that. Just ramming all these jokes down my throat. That's the best I've got. That's all I've got. Okay. Love you guys. You're right, he's not on the show, but what he is, you guys are all on the show. You're all the stars. That's not me referencing to myself being a star. I didn't mean that. That's not what I meant. I'm on the telly. So famous. Oh, I thought this was going to be easier and quicker doing this bit. It'll look all right though. It'll be okay. Don't try to fleece us by putting the wool over our eyes. Fun club. Okay, it's starting to look a bit better now. My brain is hurting from trying to think up more ideas for my scenario. I got 3 down. Well, at least 2 more. If you haven't already, if I haven't missed it somewhere in the live chat, because it does go past really fast, tell everybody your ideas. If you want to talk to everybody about your ideas, I assume you probably do, because you're talking to me about it here in front of the whole world. Because I think it's a really unique idea. Obviously, don't feel pressured just because I'm telling you something on a live stream. You do your own thing. You know what I mean. Not my story to tell, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's tricky. Why are you so spiky? First bit of something new is always try to highlight the outside edges of those little blinky eye bits. It's an ongoing. Sorry, it's an option for decorating, but going for hills, rocky terrain. Yeah. The pharmacy, the opposite. I think I've missed a little bit of the ongoing dialogue there. We're talking about pills, talking about razor wire. Cool. Do you know what? I'm just going to let you guys talk, and hopefully I'll dip back into a part of the conversation that I know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm going to make myself look like an live on stream. The whole world just replay at their own whim, and I don't want that. Tiny, so subtle. Well, that's taken me, what, 35 minutes just to do that one little bit there. Only got to do it on both sides and on 6 more, so 1 out of 8 to go. Well, let's keep on going, I suppose. key in here. So fluid paint, one that transfers from the bristle to the model smoothly without being transferred. Kez, if you were doing a winter theme board, how about some hedges with a snowdrift up one side to give a multi-layer? You're gonna... I kind of understand what you're saying. I think you're gonna need to... Yeah, you're gonna need to explain just a little bit more. Expand on your idea, is what I'm trying to say here. Snowdrift at one side to give multi-layer. Like, are you talking about adding a hill, or are you just talking about adding extra features? Paint is starting to dry a little bit in the palette. Maybe I should have gone for a little bit of paint retarder or something. Trying to make blank hills that could have a winter theme or grassland theme. So you want like sporadic patches of snow, don't you really? What I would strongly suggest is going and researching some images of snowy grasslands. I know that sounds really obvious, but maybe out like the Russian steppes sort of way, and seeing if you can find just pictures, just so you can see how to pattern the snow to make it look kind of pretty, accurate at the same time. But you also want to make it nice and flat for your terrain gaming board. It needs to be functional at the same time. So there's a lot of factors, and it's a difficult mission, and I admire the challenge that you set yourself. Hi Mike, thanks for coming along. How you doing? Nice to see you again. Paint all of this bit up. I like colour. On his elbow? Is this an elbow? It kind of looks like an elbow. Call it an elbow. I'm getting a little bit lost in where I am and what I'm doing. It's such a bizarre thing to paint. Work from based on because it's only bit patchy at the minute. I'm just trying to get some colour down before I go in and sort that out. Don't mind it being patchy right now. Once I learn what I want it to look like, what I think it looks like, I should be able to replicate it. a bit swifter. It's also just get in and around this thing. Oh, and now because I'm poorly, I've got the cheeks again now. So like a hedge green thing that grows, white stuff falls from the sky as snow and it gets blown up against objects. In this case, said hedge makes a mound at one side of it. Oh, now I get it. So yeah, I was missing the hedge part in my mind's eye, I suppose. Yes, I like that. That's a really good idea. So you kind of get like a snowdrift bank, and then you're gonna have it like leaving like a trail, like a road through it, couldn't you? That'd be kind of cool. Sick idea. Sick, mate. Little blighter to paint this, and it with all. Oh. Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I think normally I would do like the same colour grey all the way through and make sure that it's all done, then go to highlights and do the whole thing. I think with this one what I'm going to do is finish that arm just so that I know what it needs to look like. I might want to make corrections and things press through the arms. I can get the first one right first go. Might be. Well, it might feel a bit more frustrating at first. I think it gave me a lot of time. Well, do you know what? It's that time, isn't it? Oh, it's making my eyes go funny. So, Danny, I've joined a local gaming club. Next Thursday, I'm taking in What a Tanker to get others to play it. Brilliant. Cool for you. Staff, you're taking What a Tanker and playing with other people, you tart. Absolutely. You should definitely introduce them to that. I think it's a great game. It's so fun. It's so beer and pretzels. You could just... It doesn't take very long at all to learn it, and it's just fantastically fun and social. It's a real giggle, but at the same time being surprisingly tactical, I think. Oh dear, this is tricky. Time consuming, but it will look good. I've really got to resist that temptation to want to rush it. If you ever get the same sort of feeling, don't fall to that temptation. Don't do it, man. Don't rush your stuff just because it's frustrating. You're better than that. Develop your patience, develop your skill, make better stuff. I certainly have. From this guy to this guy. Whew. Easy peasy. It's just not going because there might be people there. I think that's the whole point. It's a social club, right? It's a gaming club. Right, I definitely need to go and refocus my eyes for a minute, just kind of have a little rest from that. It looks a little shabby. It looks a little rubbish, but I've kind of got an idea in my head. I think I know how it's going to go. Yeah, I definitely want the liney effect on the top edge up here. I could definitely bring it around the outside edges, but on the underside down here, it doesn't really look all... If I can maybe neaten it up, it might be better. But it might be that as it kind of goes to this thin bit along here, then it might just need to go to the highlight colour straight away. Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. We'll keep working on it. You know, projects, they take a long time, right? That's the whole point. You've got to persevere and make good things. Come along the way, Easy 8 hoodie. Danny has hoodies. I do make hoodies. Yes, I have merch. And I don't really do an awful lot with it. And there's a very good reason for that. And that is because I'm not a very big show. Like, I'm just a painting club, man. I'm just a way of bringing people together online. I'm not one of those 10 million subscriber shows that's out there. And it's expensive to do merch. And it requires constant income, and I'm not at 1,000 subscribers even, so it's very difficult. However, if you do want an Easy 8 hoodie, do drop me a line because I can always sort it out for you, take payment for you, kind of get it done on a personal level. But yes, when me and some of my inner council, so Stafford included there, because Stafford lives quite locally to me, we go away, we do some shows, we get out on the road, more on that in a little bit, and yeah, we wear our hoodies and stuff, you know, as traders often do. Not that I trade, I just go to shows. So, yes, if you want some Easy 8 merch, I can certainly make it happen for you if you want. I don't have a merch channel, if that's what you mean. He says with his Easy 8 mug in his hand, this was a gift from Overlord Games who watched the show. Thanks, Grant. Also gifted me the model that I'm painting this evening. Anyway, look, enough rambling. It's time for a break. I'm going to go and get myself a grown-up juice because I feel like having one, all right? Whatever it is that you should do, you should definitely go and change your paint water. See you in 10. Bye! Welcome back. I did a bad. If you're new here, I just want to say that I do try my best to be as professional as I possibly can. I didn't turn off my microphone. I could have been saying anything. I could have been doing anything. You could have been listening to that. I'm really sorry. It's very lucky I didn't say nothing bad or fart or anything like that, right? So if you could hear stuff going on in the background, that was... Well, you know... Hey, even on live news shows, they make mistakes from time to time. I'm really sorry. I do like to try and be as professional as I possibly can, just because it's a good thing to do. We know this. I was reading the live chat. I was even trying to, I normally like chat during the live chat, and I couldn't, do that for some reason today. There's like a little problem going on in there. We heard you moving. Yeah, I'm sorry. That doesn't normally happen. I do try to run a tight show here. Good thing you didn't take off your human suit. Never. I don't even wash, mate. I'm a boy. I'm self-cleaning. Anyway, it's the weekend. Never knew you thought I was a brick, so gutted. Well, do you know what? You said it, pal. It's the weekend, so cheers to everybody. Happy Friday. I know that I'm not working right now, but that's kind of a bad thing. But to the rest of you, I hope you're having a great time at the moment. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Cheers. And no, I'm really sorry, Crumbs. It's not a hobgoblin this week. My partner went out and bought me a few beers. This is a tribute to you. Why not? It's still a golden ale. It's still up there in my top 3. It's a lovely drink. So, and I'm not sponsored, but if Hobgoblin or whoever it is that makes tributes, it's sent us. If any beer manufacturer wants to sponsor me for the show, I will use this part of my show to promote your beer if I like it. I'll talk honestly, but yeah, drop me a line. Send me a free beer every week. That'd be great. I'd love that. Anyway, if you haven't already and you're new here, perhaps you just have been here for a while and you haven't done it yet already, please do consider subscribing. Subscribers make the show grow, and I want the grow to show. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. So I was talking earlier on about all the projects that I've got lined up, and someone was saying that they've got their McFarlane Space Marine. Yeah, I've got mine right here. It needs a little bit of work on him because, well, they're artist proof, aren't they? So they've got a couple of mould lines on them and a few things to clean up. And excuse me, that's the beer coming back. They're actually very, very clean in terms of what a model normally looks like. And this is not a model. This is like, it's an action figure, isn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, it's one that you can paint, and I kind of like that. This was a gift from my dad, Jeff, who's in the live chats right now. Never painted the Dark Angel before, so I'm really looking forward to that. But because it's such a big model, it's like, what is it? It's got to be like 1/6, 1/8, maybe. It's enormous. Yeah, taking the mini out of miniature gaming. I'm going to do a proper good job on it. I might do some sculpting on it, maybe. I'm going to take it apart because I know that you can do that. They're not designed to come apart, but I know that you can. Take it apart for some easier cleaning, perhaps, and maybe I'll put some replacement parts in it because I know you can get some third-party things in there as well. So maybe I'll give him a replacement head or something like that, or maybe do something kind of cool with his shoulder pads. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but there's a lot of scope to do a lot of fun things with it. So yeah. He also comes with this little base with a tiny little pin on the top, and it's really quite rubbish. It just fell out just then, and it's got like a little couple of holes under his feet, and it's a base that only goes under 1 foot, which is something that I don't like very much anyway. But it does allow you to kind of do a lot of posings and whatever. But it's so prone to coming out that giggity. It's so prone to coming out that it's really difficult to kind of get any dynamic poses on them. So I was talking to my dad the other day, Jeff, who's somewhere in the live chats, and he said, it'd be nice to put a proper base on it. And I thought that I could sculpt like a standard, traditional 32mm black base for it. But he was talking about making like a plinth for it, which I thought was a really good idea. So I might go all out on that guy. So that's one thing that I've got to do on him. The other projects that I've got here, one that I've already shown. Oh, here we go. Ed 209. So I took this one briefly out of the box the other week. This is a 3D resin printed kit. It's absolutely glorious. I love Robocop. I love all those 1980s style science fiction action movies. I absolutely love them. And Ed 209 is one of my favourite things ever in a movie. I just love it. It's a really, really detailed, like super magnificent model, but there's a lot of work to be done on it. And I don't want it to just sit there in the box until one day that I get around to it. Like, I'm going to start working on it real soon. But because there's so much work to be done on it, like, if it wouldn't be a painting show anymore. Like, and I know I've got loads of time at home, but, you know, I still got other things to do. So I'm going to have 2 or 3 projects on the go at the same time. I'm going to come away from here. Please do subscribe to the show. It would make my day. And come and tell me about the stuff that you're doing. That would be great. If I take you back over to the workbench a moment. Here's a little gift that I got from Kez the other day. So this is a 3D printed Raven from Battletech, but in 15mm scale, or thereabouts. Now, when Kez brought this to me the other day, so I printed this for you as a gift. Thank you very much. Like, I know I said that to you at the time, but thank you very much in the global comments. Kez said to me, be careful with the weapons. It took me ages to glue them on, and I've knocked them off a couple of times. I was really careful with it. But when my partner came and had a look at it, because she really wanted to have a look, as soon as she touched it, it fell off on the side. So, yeah, it's supposed to go on there like that. I play Mech Warrior Online, where this mech features, or used to feature quite heavily, and it's my favourite. And I used to enjoy running around with my friends. It's a tactical sweep, so it's supposed to have like all sorts of targeting software and stuff on it. And basically, you do really well if you help target all the stuff for your friends. You're not going to do an awful lot of damage in this one. You might. But, you know, you make it easier for your friends to do all the good stuff. It's kind of fallen out of favour on the game nowadays, so it doesn't really get all the bonuses it used to, but it was my favourite thing to do. So Kez made it for me, which I thought was really cool. It's actually made up with the exact same setup that I use, so all the gear on there. And I'm going to paint it up in my favourite colour scheme, and that'll be a project that I'll be doing at the same time. So I'll be able to paint some stuff, be able to swap between a few projects, which I'm sure is not going to go well at all. So I've got that, I've got the Ed 209 project, and I've got the Space Marine. So yeah, I've got some stuff to do. I saw Stafford was saying, are you going to do Space Marine for Pudsey? There is no way that between now and Pudsey, which is about 2 or 3 weeks away, that I'm going to have that finished. But it will certainly be there on display. People can come along and talk about it. You're a spotter, says Kindred Lupus. Yeah, I used to be when it was a good enough game for that, but nowadays it's not. Must be a piece of tissue. There it is. Oh, great models around. So yeah. Those are my projects that I've got lined up. I've got hundreds of other things all around me. People keep buying me stuff all the time, and I'm very grateful for that. But it just means that I paint slow, I acquire things quicker. It's a never-ending cycle, which is the whole point of this show. Not buying me stuff. Please don't feel that you have to buy me stuff. Do if you want to. But the whole point is to get through your stuff, right? Put some colour on your grey. That's what it's all about. I don't know where that little bit of energy's come from, but crikey. He will balance fine on his own. He even kneels well. Yeah, but I just thought, he's got a base. Use it, right? I wanted the Sanguinius they do. I saw the price, and I was okay without it. Yeah, fair enough. There are 2 different manufacturers of these big Space Marine dudes. So there's McFarlane, which is what this one is. That is the more affordable one. There's also the Japanese brand Joy Toy, and I think the scales are ever so slightly different. I think the Joy Toy is a bit smaller. I think they have something to do with Gundam. I might be wrong on that. But they are exquisite models, and they are the step down from being an action figure, as where these are pretty much an action figure. They're just posable, undisplayable things. Right, cool, there we go. So sorry for not turning off my microphone. Cray. Let's get a bit more magic grey on this palette. I say get some colour on your grey, and here I am putting grey on top of my colour. Cray. Let's get a bit of flow improved. What does Flow Improver do? It improves the flow. It improves your flow of the paint. Paint retarder. It makes your paint stay not so dry. It stops it from drying down so fast. It is a kind of a gelatinous deal. Be careful. It affects the consistency a little bit. But if you want your paint to last a little bit longer in a palette, especially in a dry palette, add it. If you're using a wet palette, you probably don't need it. I do have a wet palette. It's just really big. I've got a lot of stuff on my bench at the moment. So, yeah. I add just the occasional touch every now and then. It does help. I've added in loads before, and it's too much. Smidgen of water. There we go. Looks like I've got a pretty good consistency. Alcohol also improves your flow. Yeah, it absolutely does. Francois has joined us. Hi, Francois. How you doing, pal? Nice to see you again. Oh, and to think that I was going to lose people to the Mike Tyson and Joe Fury. Is it Joe Fury? Was it Joe Fury? Mike Tyson boxing match. It's not Joe. It's not Joe. Why have I got Fury in my head? That's Tyson Fury, isn't it? Who's fighting Tyson today? What time is it? I'm not really into boxing. I think it's a brutal sport. I don't really like that very much. I was expecting it to drain away all of my viewers, but I don't know what time it's on. What's he called? Joe. Who? Is there a fight on tonight? I'm sure it's on tonight. It's the 15th, isn't it? Today? Tonight? Mike Tyson. Fighting that YouTuber. Can't remember his name. That's how much I'm at Go Sports. I'm really into it. For those of you who don't know me so well, Jake Paul. Where was I getting Fury from? That is Tyson Fury, isn't it? I was getting the Mike Tyson thing mixed up, wasn't I? Tomorrow, I think. Yeah, I'm sure it was supposed to be on the 15th, but because it's probably it's in Vegas, isn't it? It's in the States, and yeah, it's probably going to be on their time, so we'll see it tomorrow. I was just reading a little bit about it, like about an hour before I came live on the show. Not really interested in boxing that much. I mean, if you are, you are. I've got nothing against it. I jam, really, you know. Starting to look a little bit better. I hope that when I put the highlight grey in there, I'm going to be able to really accentuate all of these stylization it's in. And I think that it's probably a good idea to bring this mid-grey, almost right down to the edges here. Quite tempting to want to take these darker grey lines out quite a bit further, but I think that's probably quite good there. Christinas has joined us. A quick hello to everyone. I hope everyone's week is going well. It's going really well, thank you, Christinas. Probably going to get bored of saying it by the end of the night. Everybody else probably will, but I got the job I applied for. Yay for me. So yes, despite being quite poorly tonight, I feel really quite happy about that. So yeah. So an old dude who bites is fighting an online celebrity. And then all the comments that will go with that. Yeah, celebrity is stretching it. Yeah, apparently he's a YouTuber. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. I will not be fighting Mike Tyson or anybody. Not a fighter. I'm a lover. That's looking a little better. I knew I just had to step away from it. Right. Well, as I've got that done there, and I've got some paint in the palette, what I'll do is I'll just do this bit here as well. Hot plate here on his hands. Right. What do I do? That again, wipe that off. That's one really good thing about the paint retard is it does mean that if you make a little mistake and you've got it diluted enough, you can just rub it away. You're gonna have to get that with a bit of tissue. Just get the water off of it. There we go. Oh. Comes a day. Really not feeling my right self. Are we making Transformer quotes now? I'm trying to catch up with everything that we're talking about. Optimus dies. He gets better. Does he? The Titanic doesn't make it either. Love Transformers when I was a little lad. Best thing ever. I'm gonna be really honest. Like, I don't really care about Optimus Prime dying at the time. Like now as an adult, it's the most tragic thing ever, right? But at the time as a kid, I was like, yeah. People like very upset about it. Oh, it's so difficult to hold. Yeah. Do you know what? I was thinking a minute ago, I was going to bring it up. I was going to say, let's talk about something controversial. Let's talk about Bayformers. And there's kids going, Bayformers sucks. She ain't wrong. Michael Bay, if you're watching this, you know what? You can make a movie with explosions. Good for you, but that film was awful, mate. It wasn't good. Much rum has been consumed by Stafford, finding it difficult to read, are we, mate? Shiv says, IDW did a series way back when. What's IDW? We got the original Transformers right back in it. It was really good. Got a bit weird when he left. IDW? IDW. IDW. Who's IDW? Comic book publishers. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Typing is also difficult. Well, at least that bit went. Okay. Try and do some highlight colours on that part of the arm. Now, this is taking me all night just to do that one arm. Sometimes you just got to sacrifice that time just to learn how to make one thing look good and then replicate it over all the others. Oh, got a lot of work to do still. I really enjoyed the story from the High Moon Studio games until another games company took it on. Are you talking about the Transformers video games that kind of took over from the Michael Bay universe? Is that what we're talking about there? Or am I on something else completely different? I don't know. Right, highlight colours. So for the highlights, in the stratum, this one always separates a little bit. Don't know why. The other day someone was saying you had your redundancy payout, now you can afford to buy a new Wazomatic. Yeah, alright. True. Black Friday's coming up. On it. Now this paint is a little bit thinner than all the others, so it doesn't need to go crazy with any of the thinners, water, anything like that really. It might need a bit of water added to it as you work through the brush. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of paint retardant to it just to stop it from drying up, because it can take me a little while sometimes. Here's a little tip as well: if you are using paint retardant, especially this Vallejo one, it comes in a squeezy tube, but it's because it's gel, it doesn't flow out so freely as a paint. If you're pouring this directly into your paint and you go too hard, you're just going to like get this gel all over it. So I always put it just this side. So if you're putting your paint here, put this stuff over here, then kind of mix it in with a brush. Honestly, makes life so much easier. So now I'm going to mix that in. Gonna go for the Cybertron RPG. Make it happen. Okay, a little bit of water bristles, lovely. Let's turn the paint like almost frothy gel. Add a bit of water in with this brush just to kind of keep the paintbrush itself nice and supple. I should be. Okay, so 2 hours just on one arm. Crazy. New Wazomatic. Yeah, maybe. See what happens, eh? I think what I need to do, start. Such a really tricky shape to paint. get my own style on it. It's very peculiar. Get this hot. Just like I did with the grey. Use this mid-grey background for the line style. While it certainly needs practice and a bit of refining, it might actually work, this idea. Show the Wasmatic on the stream, keep the receipt and use it as a tax write-off. The road to monetization and doing Easy 8 full time. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have a good enough show format to make this a full-time thing. I don't know if you noticed, but every time we get up to about 210 subscribers, I lose a whole swathe. It's yeah, as a bit of a dream as it is to be able to do that sort of a thing, I don't think Easy 8 is that popular. That's not a sob story, that's just the truth. Oops, not my camera. Oh, there's a lot not going right on this. Right, I think there needs to be less dark to bring the mid-grade down a bit. It's so difficult. So but it's not bad. It's okay, right? It's all right. So tricky. Yeah, you can see here where I brought the mid-grey down over the dark grey. I think it needs to come in closer so that I can bring more stylized lines in and it really accentuate the spikes on this carapace. That's what I think needs to happen. Up the Instagram presence, a chud like me is nearly up to 800 followers. That's really good. It's just extra work though, isn't it? And I like to just kind of put like completed stuff onto Instagram, although I'm probably going to have to, do better. So yes, you're absolutely right. I just need to stop being so ADHD and actually just do some other stuff. But Instagram followers don't translate into subscribers for the show. They might do. Oh, hello. But I'm not all about that. I'm about an organic process of a genuine thing, just bringing people together to paint stuff together. For those of you that are new, it was born out of COVID. Bringing people together when of course we weren't allowed to, and we shouldn't have done. Like, absolutely, that is what should have happened. But it's a social thing. Painting new models, playing games, it's something to do together, and we weren't able to do that, and I was certainly feeling the effects of that. So I decided to bring the hobby to people with phones and iPads. So that's where it all came from. It's difficult to maintain a full-time job at this age. I absolutely love it though. Two hobbies are the same thing for me nowadays. So I made the show with the proviso that it was to kind of get people to paint their plastic, unpainted plastic hoards. We always say it, you pile of shame, all your unpainted stuff. The idea was to use the time of COVID to get through it all. And well, it helps me get through my stuff too. I've got loads of stuff. The monetization hoops are ridiculous too. What are we talking about now? Less you're a conservative MP. I'm not going to get into that. Cool. Also, can we talk about this word chud? Chud. What is chud? Stafford there invited me along to a 40k game. I don't play 40k anymore, mate. Because 10th edition, your listening games workshop is rubbish. For those of you that had headphones on, totally sorry about that. Yeah, chud. Crumb said, a chud like me is nearly up to 800 followers on Instagram. Chud. What is a chud? Yeah, this idea with the paint needs a little bit of work. I've not been very neat on the inside here, although I'm not too fussed about it on the inside because the underside, you're just not going to see it that much. But you can see where my problems are. I need there to be less dark grey to bring this style in. 10th edition is not good, but it's not as bad as 8th. No, hard disagree. 8th, way better. 7th was really good. 8th was pretty good. 9th was really good. Somewhere between those three editions, it had the flow, the efficiency that everybody needed, but it also had the throwback feel to 2nd edition. 5th was rubbish. Let's not even talk about that. 6th started the train back onto, good terms. Keep on bumping into my microphone today. What's going on? Be over there. I have got some work to do. We're getting there. We're getting there. But it does need improving. Okay. Oh, there we go. Do you know what? I'm going to have to call it there. I think my eyes are starting to go. I'm probably going to stay on Discord for a little bit and try to maybe neaten up the work that I've done here a little bit. Certainly finish off this set of armor plates here. You have to come back into this tomorrow, hopefully maybe the next day with a fresh set of eyes when I'm not feeling poorly. If anything to go from this, if there's anything to take from this at all, and that is, it's okay to get things wrong. It's okay to not do as well as you wanted it to do, as well as you wanted it to be. That's what I like about my show. So I'm not good, and there are loads of people out there that are really good. And you shouldn't come here looking for really good painting. That's not it. I'm just gonna blow my nose again because I've got a cold and it's gross, right? We don't need snot bubbles on this show. What I like about my show, if I'm to kind of be self-critical, is that, thanks, there's Shiv saying it looks really freaking good. Thanks very much. But it's okay to get things wrong. Like, what makes an artist in my opinion, because it's very subjective, is having a picture in your mind and being able to translate it into whatever medium you are trying to translate it. If you are a sculptor, sculpting a thing, obviously it's carving or you know, putting on putty or whatever it is. If you're a canvas painter, if you're a sketch artist, whatever your medium is, you've got an image in your head surely to start with, and you have to be able to translate that. The bit from here to here is what makes you an artist, good or bad. I don't necessarily believe in good artistry or bad artistry. It's art. And it's okay to get things wrong. Now that wrong is maybe trying to copy another piece, or trying to copy from what's in your head. But the fact is, it's a translation from here or somewhere to what it is you're doing. And it's okay to not always achieve that. It's really important to recognise that, actually. So if you're maybe a new artist, or maybe you're just not well practiced, whatever, it's okay. Like, you're never going to be able to pick up a paintbrush and do something like, you know, Monet straight away, or Rembrandt, or whatever. You're just not going to do it. And if you are, then you should probably get yourself on TV. Do you know? So, yeah. Jeff says, an artist, a person who will more likely die poor. Yeah, but probably posthumously be very rich, right? Because, well, look at the greats. Were they really rich back in their day? Probably not. Maybe they were. I don't know an awful lot about them. Anyway, this isn't so wrong. I'm not entirely annoyed with it. I've got the right idea. It just needs to be better, basically. So you can kind of see what I've tried to do here, can't you? It's just a little bit messy. That's all it is. If I do too much of the bright colour, it's going to be a detraction from the rest of the colour scheme here. Obviously, there would need to be more of that, right? So what I think I need to do is dial the dark grey back a lot with a mid grey, keep the light grey roughly where it is, and it should accentuate the lines that are on there. Should. So yeah, that's where I'm going with this anyway. If you cut off your own ear, you could be like Van Gogh, though. Pardon? What? Yeah, I don't. That's not a sign of success. It's a sign of some mental distress that was going on with that gentleman there. Anyway, let's come away from here. It is a silly place. I am so poorly. It is unbelievable how such a little cold can make me such a drivelling mess of a child. But thank you very much for coming along this evening and keeping me company. Van Gogh walked into a pub. Barman asks, "Want a drink?" Van Gogh replies, "No thanks, I've got one here." It's actually quite funny. As you can tell, I've got loads of projects lined up ready to go. I can't wait for this project to be over. Not less because it's starting to frustrate me a little bit and it's really going on, but because I think it'll look really good when it's done. So I've got a lot of work to do on it between now and the next show, and I will be here next week, hopefully. I've got some friends who I need to meet up with, and if you're watching this right now, you know exactly who you are. All my friends from my previous place of work, who still live locally. We're going to try and meet up at some point because I miss you all dearly. And I love you all. There's Shiv going, I love you all. Thanks, man. And thanks for coming along to the show if you've been watching it, and hopefully I won't have to miss too many Friday evenings. The plan is that we're going to like maybe go out for a meal at some point soon, and I will prioritise seeing my friends over running the show. I'm actually hoping that it's going to not be on a Friday evening, but just in case something comes along, there will be a Friday where I won't be doing the shows because I'm meeting up with some old friends. That's what I'm trying to get at. However, there is one Friday evening that I won't be running a show on, and that will be, I believe, Friday the 6th of December, and that will be because I'm going to be going all the way to Bradford, or just outside of Bradford, between Bradford and Leeds. There's a little place called Pudsey, and we've been there before. We're going back to the Recon show. Woo! Yeah, the Pit Gaming Pit Gaming Shop, sorry. Picked that one up last year. They've taken it over because the previous show organisers, for whatever reason, had stopped doing it. There was a public outcry. They wanted someone to do it. So Matt from the Pit Gaming Shop picked it up and invites Easy along there as a guest, and of course I will be there. I'm going to be there doing a little bit of painting. I'm going to be there doing a little bit of streaming, although it was kind of complicated running a stream from a show. The reason it's complicated is because people don't really know Easy 8 very well. Sure, we've been going for just over 4 years, but it's still not very big, and that's okay. Like, I'm not trying to complain about, oh, everybody should subscribe and get at least 5 subscribers. You should, thanks, but it's just not well known. And when you go to a show where people aren't necessarily interested in watching a live stream or being a part of being recorded, they're not really into it, and that's okay. Like, it's Easy. It's not made for that. It's supposed to bring a club to your home so you don't have to go out and find those people, because we're all recluses in some sort of way, aren't we? We don't like to go out there and try and find people, so I try to bring people to you. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to Pudsey. Going to be going to the Recon show up near Bradford. It's literally right between Bradford and Leeds, a little bit closer to Bradford. It's a long drive for us to get up there, and I've got to get my car in for a quick check because I think I've got some damage on the inside of a wheel somewhere along the line. Before I can drive it all the way up there, got to get it checked out. But me, Stafford, and Dave, who normally watches in the live chat but for some reason is unable to chat, we're all going. There's 3 of us that are going up there, and we would love to meet you up there. You should definitely go and check out the Recon website. There is a link to it, I think, down in the description of my own show. There's definitely a link to the Pit Gaming Shop, and you should go and check those guys out because Matt and his team are just wonderful, prolific. They're everywhere. They do shows all over the place. Please go and check out Recon. Go and support that show. And if you want to come and meet me and the team, then we will be there. It's our little presence up north. So yeah, we'd love to be there. Stafford is drunk, isn't he? Bless him. Kindred Looper says, I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Please do hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already, because it really makes my day if you do. It makes the show grow. It gets it out there. Share it. Go and tell another friend. Go and tell a family member. Share it at work or something like that. Put up a poster. I don't mind. Bring people into the fold. Get the painting club into other people's living rooms or wherever it is that they are painting. Matt and team are mad. Too many shows, says Stafford. Yes, they do about 75 shows a year. Think about it, there's only 52 weeks in a year. They are doing multiple shows every week. As a small team, they are constantly on the road. And they've all got full-time jobs, man. It's crazy. They've even got their own brick-and-mortar store. So do you know what, Pit Gaming Shop? This is for you. Seriously, man, that is some serious dedication. Well done. Anyway, been a bit of a struggle this evening. Not the best painting. Not the best show. New subscriber, thank you very much. Or new viewers at least. Yeah, I feel really rubbish, and hopefully I will feel much better soon. Anyway, between now and next week, I'm going to try and get as much work as I possibly can done. And I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Thanks for stopping by, and until next week, stay safe, be kind, keep on painting, get some colour on your grey. See you soon. Bye bye. I haven't even finished with beer. That's how poorly I am. Cray cray. Cray cray, I tell you. Cray cray. Just checking I turned the microphone off this time.